Scrimmage is provided by the Air Products Foundation. The foundation is supported by donations from Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated as a charitable organization whose contributions provide support for educational, cultural, health, and community programs in the Lehigh Valley. The series is also made possible by Channel 39 School Services participating districts.
WLVT-TV presents Scholastic Scrimmage, a weekly program featuring teams from Lehigh Valley high schools in a contest of quick recall. Tonight's teams are from Easton Area High School and Muhlenberg Senior High School. Your host for Scholastic Scrimmage is Harry Price.
Good evening and welcome to Scholastic Scrimmage. We'll meet the teams and the coaches, then we'll begin the contest. From Easton High School, Eric Roof, a senior. Charles Otto, a junior. The captain, John Damiano, is a senior. Justin Corvino, junior. And the coach is Mrs. Anna Drago, teacher of American history. From Muhlenberg High School, Michael Lefevre, a senior. In fact, the entire Muhlenberg team is senior, all in the senior year. The captain is Jay Foraker. The next would be Dory Rio, Jennifer Weant. Again, all seniors. The coaches, we have two, a husband and wife team, Richard and Linda McRae. Mr. McRae teaches business, and Mrs. McRae Latin and English. Channel 39 is pleased to announce that at the conclusion of the series, after the championship contest, the Air Products Foundation will present a $1,500 scholarship award to the championship high school and a $750 scholarship award to the runner-up high school. Both awards will be in the names of the Scholastic Scrimmage teams. Remember, the answers to the questions on Scholastic Scrimmage require rapid recall of factual information and aren't necessarily indicative of academic training. The rules for the contest are as follows. On toss-up questions, you'll be given 10 points for each correct answer, and 10 points will be deducted for an incorrect response. If you answer incorrectly, then the opposing team will have an opportunity to answer without penalty. They'll receive 5 points for a correct answer in this situation. Of course, each correct answer to a toss-up question gives you the opportunity to answer a bonus question without penalty. Team members may confer only on the bonus questions, and the answers to these questions should be given to me by the two team captains, Jay and John. A buzzer will signal the end of the contest. If it sounds while a question is being asked, the game stops. If the buzzer goes off while you're answering, however, you will be permitted to complete your answer, but no bonus questions will be asked. Are there any questions? If not, we'll begin with our first toss-up. And this time we're looking at a 10-point bonus. Which of the Great Lakes lies wholly within the United States? Muhlenberg, Michael.
Michigan.
Correct. Only one of the 5 lakes to lie wholly within the U.S. Your bonus 10-pointer, Jay, for you and the team, you may confer. Each of these scenic sites is located in 2 states. For 5 points apiece, in each case, name the 2 states. First case, Lake Tahoe. Jay?
Nevada and California.
Correct. The Black Hills National Forest. Jay?
North and South Dakota.
Incorrect. I'll give you the first one, of course, California and Nevada, for 5 points. But the second, it's South Dakota, western South Dakota, and eastern Wyoming. Going for a 10-point bonus this time, toss-up. What was the pen name of Agatha Mary Clarissa Miller, who wrote titles such as The Pale Horse? That's Muhlenberg. Dory.
Agatha Christie.
Correct. It is Agatha Christie, the famous British mystery writer. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. Jay, for you and the team. For 5 points per set, identify each of the following 1988 Olympic winners. First one, men's and women's basketball. Men's and women's basketball. No response from Muhlenberg. Men's basketball was won by the Soviet Union and the women's by the USA. Here's your second one. Men's and women's volleyball. Jay, how about men's volleyball?
United States.
How about women's volleyball?
China.
Incorrect. Again, I'm giving you for it's an all or nothing. You would get 5 points. Men's was correct with USA, but the women's volleyball was won by the Soviet Union. We'll go on to another toss-up looking at a 10-point bonus. Conditioning is a type of learning in which a response is transferred from one stimulus to another. For 10 points, name the Russian physiologist. Easton, Eric.
Pavlov.
Correct, who discovered conditioning through a famous series of experiments with dogs, and it's Ivan Pavlov. Bonus 10-pointer, John, for you and the team. Again, you may confer. John, you give me the answer. I want you to name the only metallic element whose melting point is above 3,300 degrees Celsius. John.
Platinum.
No, it would be tungsten. It actually exceeds 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Going for a 10-point bonus, toss-up. How many degrees are in the third angle if two angles of a triangle are 40 degrees and 80 degrees? Easton, Justin.
60.
Correct. Bonus on the monitor. I want you to give me the next term of that arithmetic progression whose first two terms are x minus y and 2x is shown. John.
X plus y.
No, it would be the third term. X plus y would be the common difference. The third term is 3x plus y. Toss-up going for a 10-pointer. Abu Jihad was said to be the Palestine Liberation Organization's #2 man and a brilliant mastermind of terrorist plans. In April 1988, he was assassinated by a team of special forces from what country? Easton, Charles.
Israel.
Correct. Bonus 10-pointer, John. To earn 5 points for each set, I want you to name the two U.S. vice presidents with the initials HH and the presidents under whom they served. John?
Humphrey. Hubert Humphrey.
And the president?
No response.
No response. Is that your only chance? Okay. It would be Hubert Humphrey served Lyndon Johnson, and the other HH is Hannibal Hamlin, who served as vice president under Abraham Lincoln. Going for a 15-pointer. Toss-up. He wrote such works as Ye Flowery Banks, A Man's a Man for All That, A Red, Red Rose, and Sweet Afton. Name the Scottish poet. Robert Burns, the best known of all Scottish poets, 18th century. Going for a 10-point bonus, toss-up. What type of front is indicated on a weather map showing a series of black triangles emerging on one side of a black line? Easton, John.
Cold front.
Correct, John. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. What's the standard term for the rhythmic waves of muscle contraction that serve to squeeze food through the esophagus? John.
Peristalsis.
You are correct. Here's your toss-up. It's visual. Look there at the monitor. In Gothic architecture, masonry structured like the diagram of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, which you're seeing there on the monitor, give exterior support to high walls. What's the name? That's Muhlenberg. Michael.
Flying buttresses.
Correct. I wanted to know the name of that type of structure, and it is flying buttress. Bonus 10-pointer, Jay, for you and the team. I want to know about your musical vocabulary. I'll describe two standard musical terms, each of which begins with the letter Q. For 5 points each, you identify them correctly. Again, the letter Q. A composition for 5 instruments or voices. Jay?
Quintet.
Correct. A type of square dance which was popular in the court of Napoleon Bonaparte and which consists of 4 couples and varies in time signature. Jay?
Quartet.
Not a quartet. It's a quadrille. Again, a square dance, type of square dance. Going for a 10-point bonus. Toss-up. Following the Battle of Lodi in 1796, Napoleon Bonaparte was given an epithet because he stood only 5 feet 2 inches. What was that epithet? Muhlenberg, Dory.
Little Napoleon.
Incorrect. Over to Easton, no conferring. Dory was close. She said Little Napoleon, but it was Little Corporal, the Little Corporal. Another toss-up. What type of phrase is used in this example sentence? Are you sure you want to spend your life that way? It's an infinitive phrase. Another toss-up. And you might want to write this down. You're going for a 10-point bonus. Write down 1512, 1,512. Is not evenly divisible by which of these numbers? 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Easton, Justin.
5.
You are correct. Here's your bonus, a 10-point bonus, going to be on the monitor. I want you to tell me what the area of the triangle shown there on the monitor is. Angle A is 30 degrees, side AB is 4 inches, and side AC is 6 inches. John?
6.
6 square inches is correct. Here's your toss-up, going for a 15-pointer. From what speech were these words taken? That we hear highly resolved, that Muhlenberg, J.
The Gettysburg Address.
Correct, that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. Here's your bonus, 15-pointer, Jay, for you and the team. For 5 points apiece, name the 3 things the signers of the Declaration of Independence pledged to each other in the last line of the document. It would be, they pledge their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor. Going for a 15-point bonus. Toss up. Which work by Fred Gibson features a big, ugly, slick-haired, yeller dog? Easton, Charles.
Old Yeller.
Correct. It's published in 1956. I guess Disney has a film out on Old Yeller, a tearjerker. Here's your bonus, 15-pointer. 5 points each, and then we're going to take a break. For 5 points each, identify each of the following concerning Old Yeller. First, the state in which the novel is set at Birdsong Creek. John?
Kentucky.
No, it's Texas.
Texas.
The synonym for hydrophobia, the problem about which Burns Sanderson warns Travis. John?
Rabies.
Correct. The manner in which Old Yeller dies. John?
He was shot.
We'll accept that as sure. Travis shoots him because he probably has or had rabies. You got 2 out of the 3 for 10 points. We're going to take a halftime break now with the score at half. A very good contest. 90 for Easton, 40 for Muhlenberg. Eric Roof, I think you've been watching enough contests to know that during the first round we asked the contestants to tell us about their families. If you would begin, please.
Well, my father is the environmental staffer at J.T. Baker Incorporated, and my mother is the secretary. I have 2 older brothers, Jeff and Bob, and an older sister named Heather.
Thanks, Eric. Charles Otto.
My father is an Easton firefighter, and my mother is a merchant at the Lehigh Valley Mall, and I have an older brother, James.
Thanks, Charles. Captain John Damiano.
My father's a project manager at Pfizer. My mother's a craftsperson, and I have a brother, Jason, in 7th grade.
Thanks, John. Justin Corvino.
My father's a tax specialist at Rhodes Reed Miller and Company. My mother's a bookkeeper and computer operator at OG Capriotti Companies, and I have 2 younger sisters, Kristen and Jessica.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks to Easton. Let's go over to Muhlenberg and begin with Michael Lefevre.
My father's a realtor for Century 21. My mother is employed by Cyber Incorporated, and I have a younger brother, Andrew, in 5th grade.
Thanks, Michael. Captain Jay Forecker.
My mother's a former school teacher. My father's a construction engineer.
I have a younger brother, Jeff, who's a freshman at Muhlenberg, and a younger sister, Jennifer, who's in 7th grade at Muhlenberg Middle School.
Thanks, Jay. Dory Rio.
My father's a high school principal at Muhlenberg, and my mother's a county tax clerk. I have a younger brother, Bob, who's in 9th grade.
Thank you, Dory. And finally, Jennifer Weant.
My mother's an office manager at Jack's Glass. My father's a project coordinator at R.M. Palmer Company, and I have an older brother, Bradley.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thanks to Muhlenberg. Again, the score at half is 90 for Easton, 40 for Muhlenberg. A very close contest. Make it up in 2 questions. 2 questions plus bonuses. Going for a 10-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. We're going to begin the second half. To 1 decimal place, tenths, what is the atomic heat of sodium? If sodium has an atomic weight of 23 and a specific heat of 0.292. Muhlenberg, Jay.
23.3.
Incorrect. Over to Easton. And nothing from Easton. It would be, it's the product of gram atomic weight and its specific heat. So you multiply the 2 numbers, you come up with 6.7. Going for a 15-point bonus. Toss up. A strait and a river, as well as an enormous bay in the Western Hemisphere, were all named after what 17th century? It's Muhlenberg, Jay.
Hudson.
Correct. What 17th century English explorer? And it was Henry Hudson, English-born navigator of the late 16th, early 17th century. Here's your bonus, a 15-pointer, Jay, for you and the team. The advice, go west, young man, go west, is attributed to the 19th century journalist and politician Horace Greeley. Suppose that you took his advice and headed due west across the United States, starting from the Washington Monument in the nation's capital. Before reaching the Mississippi River, you'd pass through 6 states. One of the 6 is Virginia. For 5 points each, name any 3 of the other 5 states. Jay?
Kentucky, Tennessee, and Missouri.
I'll give you 5 points for Kentucky. The others would be West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. Going for a 10-pointer, toss-up. Which flower's name is derived from the Latin for flesh, F-L-E-S-H, because of its pale pink or flesh-colored blossom? Muhlenberg, Michael.
Carnation.
Correct. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer, Jay, again for the Muhlenberg team. For 5 points each, identify each of the following. First, the Mexican spiced dish with ground beef whose name in Spanish is red pepper with meat. Jay?
Chili con carne.
Correct. The word derived from the Latin for flesh or meat and defined as a bloody and extensive slaughter, especially in battle. Jay?
Carnage.
Correct again. You have your 10. Going for another 10-point bonus toss-up. What's the simple term consisting of 2 4-letter words that's used by urban traffic engineers to describe a condition in which traffic suffers paralysis and all vehicle movement stops? Easton, Eric.
Gridlock.
Correct, Eric. If you've been to New York City, you've probably experienced it. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer, John, for you and the team. I'll describe 2 biological terms, each beginning with the letter S. For 5 points each, you give me the correct terms. First one, blood plasma from which fibrinogen has been removed. John?
Sickle cell.
Incorrect. It would be serum, S-E-R-U-M. The next, the joint at which the pelvis meets the sacrum. It's the sacroiliac. For those of us who are older, I think we remember a song where that's used a fairly good bit. Here, going for a 10-point bonus toss-up. It's on the monitor, and it will be multiple choice. Consider the function f given by the equation f of x is equal to the square root of 4 minus x squared. If f of x is a real number, which of the following is not in the domain of f? Would it be 0, 1/2, a -1, or 4? Easton, Justin.
4.
Correct. Bonus 10-pointer, John. For 5 points each, give the mathematical term beginning with the letter C for each of the following. First one, a segment joining 2 points in a circle. John?
Chord.
Correct. A drawing made with only a compass and a straight edge. John?
Construction.
Correct again. You have your 10. Going for a 10-point bonus. Toss up. Henry Ward Beecher, the noted Brooklyn clergyman, became famous for his Beecher's Bibles, which he shipped to Kansas in the 19th century for use by the anti-slavery forces. What exactly were Beecher's Bibles? They were Sharp's rifles, to be specific. We would have accepted rifles or firearms, but he felt it was a greater argument against than a Bible for the persuasion of slaveholders. Another toss-up, going for a 10-point bonus. Give the English translation of the Italian "Viva il Papa." This phrase is shouted in St. Peter's Square when white smoke is seen. Muhlenberg, J.
Long live the Pope.
Correct. When white smoke is seen coming from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. That's at the election of the Pope by the elective assembly, which they call the conclave of cardinals. Bonus, 10-pointer, Jay. For 5 points each, identify the following, each of which begins with the letter C. A group of English poets during the reign of Charles I. Jay?
Cavalier.
Correct. The Latin phrase for "let the buyer beware." Jay?
Caveat emptor.
Correct. You've got your 10 points. Toss-up. So listening toss-up. Listen to the excerpt. The segment we just heard was written by a 20th century composer and entitled Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra. For 10 points and from the following, was it written by Aaron Copland, Leonard Bernstein, Freddie Groffet, or Benjamin Britten? It's Benjamin Britten. Great Britain. It was published in 1946. Another toss-up. This time we're looking at a 15-point bonus. What was the first colony established by the Virginia Company of London in the year Muhlenberg, J.
Jamestown.
Correct. The year they actually established the colony was 1607. They were chartered in 1606. Here's your bonus, 15-pointer. For 5 points each, name each of the following American purchases. First one, the one from Napoleon for $15 million.
Louisiana
J.
Purchase.
That is correct, in 1803. The one from Russia for $7.2 million in 1867. Jay?
Alaska.
Yes, the Alaskan Purchase. And finally, the one from Mexico for $10 million in 1853. Jay?
Gadsden.
Gadsden Purchase is correct. You have your 15 points. Going for another 15-pointer toss-up. What or which biblical sea, which lies in the Jordan Plain in Israel, is also known as Lake Gennesaret, the Sea of Kinnereth, or Lake Kinneret? It was beside the sea that Jesus performed a miracle to feed loaves and fishes. Easton, Charles.
Sea of Galilee.
Correct, to feed loaves and fishes to a large gathering. Here's your bonus, a 15-pointer, John. Again, 5 points apiece. Identify each of the following proper nouns ending in I and E. First one, the peninsula on which Italy is located. No response. Apennine. Second, the Revolutionary War battle fought southwest of Philadelphia on September 11th, 1777, which resulted in an American retreat. John?
Brandywine.
Correct. The first emperor of Rome to become a Christian. John?
Constantine.
Correct. Constantine the First or Constantine the Great. Here's your toss-up, going for a 10-point bonus. The kilogram is a unit of mass. For 10 points, of what quantity is the torr, T-O-R-R, a unit? That's Muhlenberg. J.
Weight.
Incorrect. Easton, it's a toss-up. No response from Easton. It's fluid pressure, force per unit area. Another toss-up. Going for a 10-pointer. I want you to simplify what you see there on the monitors. 2 root 17 times 3 root 17. Easton, Justin.
102.
Correct. Bonus 10-pointer, and you might want to use paper and pencil for it. You probably will want to use it. Hamburgers contain 100 calories per ounce. A hamburger bun contains 200 calories, and each French fry has 20 calories. If you order a 4-ounce hamburger with a bun, what's the maximum number of French fries you can eat and have your meal contain no more than 800 calories? I've asked the question. There's no response from Easton. That's the final buzzer, and the final score is 150 for Easton, 100 for Muhlenberg. I will give the answer to that. It's 10 French fries. Muhlenberg, thank you for being with us. Michael, Jay, Dory, Jennifer, good luck to all of you in college, and certainly for the remainder of this year at Muhlenberg High School. Easton, we want to congratulate you. You're going to be in the second round, late March, against Northampton High School. Next week, our contestants will be from William Allen High School and Emmaus High School. This is Harry Price. Thank you for being with us, and good night.
Funding for Scholastic Scrimmage is provided by the Air Products Foundation. The foundation is supported by donations from Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated as a charitable organization whose contributions provide support for educational, cultural, health, and community programs in the Lehigh Valley. The series is also made possible by Channel 39 School Services participating districts.